Welcome to the series CyberSec, A Way of Life, brought to you by LnDToday and powered by Archon Tech Solutions. Our leader today is a recipient of the prestigious Digital India Platinum Award 2020 for his contribution to the Indian ports sector. The award was conferred by the Honorable President of India, Mr. Ramnath Kovind. He comes with over 25 years of experience in the corporate and the government sector. He has played key roles in setting up IT policies, investment planning and strategy implementation. Please welcome Mr. Sudhir Kanvinde, CIO at Supreme Industries Ltd. So, talking about cybersecurity, right? What state or stage do you think the industry is in currently? Now, of course, COVID changed a lot of things. We were different before the lockdown and we are different now. Where do you think cybersecurity is at today?
Yeah, very good question, because before COVID, only IT resources used to support from home.
Right.
Working from home was very common, right? But this COVID, everybody moved to their
turn the tables
and then
around.
Suddenly, you need a big network, you need high bandwidth. I heard many CIOs were busy shifting, desktops to respective, really crazy. So, and many people were not on, cloud or on public IP or co-locators. Now that digital transformation got a very good push during this COVID. In fact, I can tell you in government also, when this started in first lockdown, we got approvals pretty fast. Sometimes it used to take 2 to 3 months to get approval. We got just in a week time. So we implemented a lot of things, even then, like touch points and all. Those were, you had to submit papers and all. So we automated those. Now, when you automate those, you need to make sure your transactions, your data transfer, everything is secured.
True.
Without that, it's a big challenge. So there was a big boost for digital transformation because of COVID, but at the same time, there's a big now, this part of cyber security is a very big subject now.
True.
And all CIOs, CISOs, they need to make sure their environment is secured. And patches, your routers, everything is up to date.
Right. So a lot of stress is being laid by organizations on cybersecurity.
Yes. So it's a very, very big thing. And CISOs are now in demand. CISO, every kind of company should have one CISO. When I was with port sector, we decided, every port will have one CISO, Chief Security Officer, so that, that management he may not be, kind of known about processes, but we give them training, we give them certification. So CISOs are required.
A point of contact would always make a lot of difference.
The person who takes decision, who can, sometimes CISO can support to or report to CIO or maybe not to CIO.
Right.
So both options are fine. So
sure. But in fact, I think the CISO's role or the CIO's role is gaining a lot of importance in the boardroom as well. I think boards are making cybersecurity a strategy.
Yeah, audit committees. Audit committee's main concern, or whenever there's an audit committee meeting, whether in government or in private sector, they first, discuss with CIOs about what is the status of our cyber security.
True.
Where are we from 1 to 10? Where are we today? And how we can go further from 7 to 10, if supposed, because again, cyber, those are doing all jamelas, they are always one step ahead, right? True, and you need to make sure your goal is protected. True. People like soccer, they are coming from all sides. You need to make sure your goal post is protected.
True. Interesting. Now, you did mention that at Supreme, you're going to be working with a lot of AI/ML technologies, right? How do you think these technologies are impacting cybersecurity? And are they a boon or are they an issue altogether? Because, although the technologies are good, but they can also be used by attackers for that matter. So how do you think these technologies are creating an impact on cybersecurity?
So what happens is when there is a huge data flow between machine and network, processes, people, there is a possibility that there will be some kind of an issue. So we need to make sure that is blocked. Okay. At the same time, I don't see any problem, because considering growth, when you want to grow further, you need to make sure AI and ML definitely going to help us. They are not actually a kind of setback, but we need to go forward, not backward.
True.
So now there are people, have data on cloud. So IoT, ML, I think that is not the best. A cloud is required, but if you're on cloud, you need a staging server.
True.
So edge computing, that is something required where you manage your data before that goes, because lot of signals, when your manufacturing starts, in manufacturing like car manufacturing or in our industry, lot of data flows. So if you open that data for cloud, there is a huge risk. So edge computing is more important, and you process data, create kind of your analytics, and then with secure tunnel you transfer the data on cloud. So that is something, but this is going to definitely change next 2 to 3 years.
True. So we always thought of AI, ML, something far, something out of reach and all that. But I think it's going to be a part of our daily lives.
Absolutely, because even today also started with all your router data and SOC. They use AI tools. Without AI tools, it's very difficult.
Difficult to manage. Interesting. Now, with the whole world coming online, literally, what kind of threats are the most damaging ones, and how do organizations deal with those kind of threats?
So mainly financial are very critical at this point, and we have seen a lot of such kind of attacks happening, email spoofing or masking of emails, sending emails with different with your CEO's name, saying please pay in this account and that account. Very, very often I'm already in touch with because earlier I was with government, and I was part of this national critical infrastructure, because all ports comes under NCIIPC. So NCIIPC is a organization of government which monitors all critical infrastructures of India. So I know how that kind of is monitored. So we need to make sure that not only government infrastructure, but even private sector or public sector, they need to make sure that all their kind of installations or locations, factories needs to be monitored properly. And this is possible only with AI tools, not without AI tools.
Right. So is NCIIPC that you mentioned, are they also a regulating body, or?
This is a government that comes under direct from NI, under NI and Ministry of Electronics.
Okay.
So they monitor because what happens is any financial attack or something that directly affects your GDP.
Right.
For that matter, even small programming, kind of even your listed company, and if you're doing some project, that data, that project completion, everything leads to connects to your GDP. So need to make sure that all these critical infrastructures are monitored.
Right. I believe the game at the government level is completely different.
Yeah. Like, huge impact. What there is like.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, MSME sector also plays a very important role in India. In fact, they're the largest sectors. How can they protect themselves from cyber threats? Because normally they don't really go in for cyber solutions per se, and they form a huge important chunk of India. How can they protect themselves? Yeah,
they also need to make sure that their systems, their servers, everything is protected. Right. Because even MSME at one point they connect to larger kind of companies, their suppliers, they are kind of, so need to make sure there are CISO as a service also available. They need to make sure that but at the same time cyber behavior, I think MSMEs, they should understand what is how to train their people, how to train their not CIs but IT heads, that how to behave, how to take backup plan needs to be there in case of an attack, how you are going to manage those. So that needs to be there. With this, I think MSME also will be able to handle, and I'm sure there are many good people in MSME. They are managing their system well, but at the same time cyber attacks are also growing. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the MSME sector, would it be safe to say that they have to broaden their horizon?
Absolutely.
When things come online.
Yes.
I mean, businesses are happening online.
Yeah.
And everything is happening online.
Yes.
So cybersecurity should be
absolutely
important part of their strategies. Interesting. Now, you did mention that cyber threats, the attackers are also evolving with them. Now, how do organizations who are protecting themselves from these cyber attacks, how do they keep up pace with the cyber attackers? Because, like you said, they're always a step ahead. But how do we also, try to match up with them?
Yeah, first step is to make sure that whenever there's a patch or something is released, that is implemented in your organization, on your routers, patch, like all your system needs to be secured.
Sure.
So then should know the business continuity planning, BCP planning needs to be in place. So how to kind of and threats are there, because all these attackers and sometimes are state sponsored.
Right.
So very difficult to identify from where, and everybody is affected right now. We need to make sure that when we download our programs on mobile, we need to make sure those are from the secured sites, right? Otherwise, can create a havoc. Many such bots and everything is kind of available. At the same time, if you go on net, like email spoofing products are available for $7 to $8. That kind of so need to make sure your DMARC is implemented in your email solution.
True.
So that nobody can use your email ID. Like if nobody from state sponsor people can use your email ID.
Right.
And send email with kind of masking.
I also get a lot of emails where every day I think I win 5 crores. The second day I win 10 crores and 20 crores.
Yeah. So their cyber behavior comes because there's no free lunch. And people are so, kind of, recently I have seen many attacks even on small, like not huge financial frauds, but small, like 4,000, 5,000, you place order on one of my friend is, in IT sector for last 20 years. He also got, he wanted to order something on dinner. He called up and then he checked on Google. He was not remembering that restaurant's name. He called up that number. The person sent immediately message. Okay. He say 4,500. He paid that 4,500. Suddenly, after immediately he got message that there's some error in your transaction. Please resend the OTP. This is a new OTP or something like that. And then he checked, and the amount was mentioned about 23,000.
Oh.
So then he realized something is wrong. So such frauds are now everywhere. So need to make sure that everything is your information, your if you are in company, not only in company, even at residence. People go and buy Wi-Fi bulbs, TV. Then they you need to make sure first change those passwords.
Yeah, absolutely. True. Now, cyber insurance, it had existed. In India, I feel it's at a nascent stage. How do you think it has gained momentum with COVID changing the landscape? How important is it to have cyber insurance now?
Cyber insurance is important and is going to grow this.
Right.
Yeah, because I myself, we have taken cyber insurance in my earlier organization for our Dubai office.
Wow.
Because that was required that time, and there was some issue with EPABX, so we decided to go for cyber insurance.
True.
This will grow now in India also.
Right. Do you think that companies should invest in cyber insurance?
Absolutely. To make their, first they should invest in the cyber resources, cyber solutions, technologies, and then also insurance, just to protect their main, kind of data as well as their overall branding, basically.
True. So, talking about cybersecurity, of course, what do you think are the key components to be looked and stressed upon when you consider a cybersecurity solution? How, basis your business or the scale of your business, what are the key aspects that you should keep in mind when you are considering a solution for your business?
So EDPR is something is very important, endpoint detection, as well as router and everything is now everywhere. But at the same time, patch management, so that needs to be there. And if any product with EDPR, patch management, and also gives me asset data, it's kind of a win-win situation, because for us, like 28 locations, thousands of people using. So I want to make sure that, all my locations everywhere, what all their current versions, what all their, if nobody is using, unauthorized software.
Right.
Because hardening of, kind of, it's not, OS hardening is not possible. Like people, then you need a big IT setup. Like if you, OS hardening is you block your USBs. So that nobody can, take data, or sometimes not purposely, but even when you connect something USBs, you'll find that some virus or something
automatically
there's one case study also. in international case study. I don't want to name anything, but it's available on net. The hackers, what they did, they went to that company and just kept 4 or 5 infected bots USBs.
Oh.
So by people, they just say USB, what is the size? They first connect to their desktop or laptop and see what is the size, what is the content.
Right.
And
all they had to do was that much.
That's it. You have a good, excellent routers, all softwares, everything. But this is an internal threat, right? There are internal and external threats.
True.
So you need to make sure your both internal and external threats are protected, like you are properly managed.
True.
Only managing desktops, your routers or EDPI will not help. You need to make sure your
I think the whole scheme of
everybody
things.
is very much very clear about cyber threats.
Right.
So then there's no issue whether it's SME or large scale government.
True.
Every Indian should know what is cyber. We are kind of sometime whenever there's a free, we try to jump on
Take
that.
at it. Yeah.
So
True. Interesting. Now, what do you think will be the top cybersecurity challenges in the next 3 to 5 years range?
Next 3 to 5 years, I think mainly about these IoTs and IoT devices. Then mainly this kind of any automation. Whenever there's a connected, because future is all about connected world.
Absolutely.
Everybody is connected cars. That is something going on. I'm reading this for last 4 years. I have not seen in India, but at least outside world is there. I was reading somewhere in Japan for Olympics, they were planning for pickup and drop with automated driverless cars.
True.
So all these things, the huge data is going to grow. We need to make sure that data is protected. And not only cyber attackers, they will in future attack only financial, but also use your data and get kind of benefits out of it without your knowledge.
They do say that data is the new oil now.
Data is the new oil, data is gold, whatever you say, but but data is, we need to protect that data. At the same time, when you process data, it's a high visibility, right? When you say analytics, you are giving analytics reports to top management, board members. If any issue or if somebody puts something, they will not hack your data, but they will put some ingredients in your data so that your reports are wrong.
Right.
So that is more risk in the future. That's what I guess.
Interesting. So I think it's a challenging environment for the attackers and for the defenders.
Yes.
I will.